Welcome back to my video series analyzing Eirika from Fire Emblem 8 The Sacred Stones. As I've said before, please remember that this is an abridged breakdown. The full version can be found in the description. Also keep in mind that the following contains full spoilers for the game in question. With that said, let's begin. Act 2. Chapter 9. Chapter 9 shows a stark contrast in Eirika's worldliness from Act 1. Beginning with her already having a cover story in place compared to how Selena caught her off guard earlier. She's also aware that Grado would use scare tactics to motivate their troops to fight her, though her primary instinct is still to protect those caught in the conflict. Eirika is also the first to realize the threat to Inns after Carsino betrays them and immediately resolves to rescue him before his messenger can even finish her request. Chapter 10. Eirika has learned to understand battlefields without Seth explaining them to her, and cuts him off when he tries to. She's also blunt with Inns, though her snark slips through when he asks her to join him despite her being the savior. At the end of the chapter, she's also the first to understand that not all of Carsino was against them. Chapter 11. Lara Chill joins the party in this chapter, and Eirika has to talk Seth down from his suspicions twice, showing her strong ability to judge a person's character and also more evidence that she's able to function on the battlefield without Seth's advice. Glenn arrives at the end of the chapter to avenge his brother's death. Compared to Inn's taunting, Eirika remains polite, but isn't afraid to bare her teeth, which makes Glenn back off. Glenn even praises her merciful spirit when he leaves. Eirika remains firm until the end of the conversation. Chapter 12. During the group's trek through the mountains, Eirika struggles due to having less experience in the wild, but refuses to slow the group down. Instead, Inns is the first to start complaining. When meeting the Elder of Kerpelin, she is the most respectful towards her, even going so far as to salvage Inns' usual callousness. We also see the return of the nerdier side hinted at in flashbacks when the Elder starts explaining Madvil's history with her flurry of questions. We also her humility in apologizing in humanity's stead of forgetting Merva's aid in the battle against the Demon King. At the end, Eirika's the only one to call her by her preferred name. In turn, she's the one the Elder trusts to watch over Sailor. Chapter 13. Volta now thinks of testing Eirika's own strength. A stark contrast to their meeting in the prologue, where he didn't even talk to her directly. Even he's aware of her growth. Eirika's the one to form the battle plans and also the one to realize there's more to Lara Chill than meets the eye. Even though Eyes has never been defeated before, even he acknowledges Eirika's a threat before the fight and compliments her tactical prowess after. We see more of her ability to stay calm under pressure after hearing word of Gianna's falling. Inns is shocked, but Eirika's first thought is to ask after the Queen's well-being. Only hearing that Leon is leading the enemy forces shakes her. Chapter 14. We see another flashback between Eirika and Leon where she praises his kindness when he beats himself up for being physically weak. The rest of the chapter shows that she is still shaken by the thought of facing him in combat, given it's the first time she doesn't join the battle planning but is still resolved to fight. The chapter as a whole examines Eirika's bond with Leon and Leon's own condition, both of which come to a head in Chapter 18. Here he is his usual sickly self, trying to rein in Kalak's savagery even when he has no need to put on an act. This is also how he appears before Eirika immediately after. Here he apologizes for not being able to prevent the war, thus also apologizing for her father's death, but reaffirms that he is still her and Ephraim's friend. Chapter 15. Eirika's party is trapped between two armies, and with Gianna Hall on fire they have nowhere to hide. Despite this, Eirika refuses to flee or even rest on account of those with her, choosing instead to fight until victory or death. Eirika and Ephraim compare their experiences with Leon at the end of the battle. While Ephraim tells her that Leon was malicious to him, even he acknowledges that he seemed to be possessed by something, which plays into Chapter 18's scene. Thank you for watching this installment of this series. I hope you enjoyed it and have come to appreciate her more. I made these videos as a way to bring attention to Eirika before Fire Emblem Heroes Annual Choose Your Legends event, and I hope this has convinced you to vote for her as well. If you're watching this in late January or early February, the event will be live right now, and you can find a link to vote for her in the description below alongside everything else. You can do with or without a Nintendo account as well. If you like this content, please consider subscribing to the channel, commenting on and sharing this video to support me, and to see more like it. I would also be very grateful if you could support me on Patreon or Ko-fi too. Thank you again and have a great day.